All right, good morning. Welcome to the well. Maria from Bloom, A Life You Love, and Angela from Grounded Dreamers. For this week's reading, it's the week of February 20th. So, first, let's just take a moment to breathe and feel into this moment, how you're feeling, how you're being. Then just take a moment to use your breath to inhale, and as you exhale, just clear any stress, any density that you might be noticing, that you might be holding, releasing, letting go, and then opening up to the reading for this week.
Okay. So I'm leading this reading now with a card from my Rumi Oracle. And they're a little more involved than the other oracles I've used, but the card that I pulled for us at this time is Arise. And if you can see that figure, the light filled figure pulling up from the more rooted, grounded, maybe even stuck shadow figure, that's the theme of our reading this week. And I'm going to read a little passage from this book that goes with this deck. It's from the poetry of Rumi. Every cell in your body is created to rise to challenges. Your life is meant to confront everything that holds you captive. Don't sit at the bottom of the well, not caring about salvation. That's a beautiful visual, because when sitting at the bottom of the well, what is our way out? Right? Like how do we get out? And that's where the arise comes in. We as humans, we suffer in loss and doubt and failure and setbacks, and this guidance is reminding us that those things are very, very small factors in that greater scheme of you and your life. And it's asking you to put them aside, allow them to rot, and become a fertilizer for your life. I love that imagery because it's asking you to, we talk a lot about letting go of those things that don't serve you. And now we have another step. You not only do you let it go, but you can plant it and let it fertilize, let it fall away, but let it become that regenerative force that
Regenerative,
creates,
exactly. I was going to say
right?
regenerate.
That creates the next thing for us. So I love that imagery because now I'm going to be putting a lot of things into my soil and allowing it to fertilize.
Well, yeah, and I just want to interject. That's why we pause at the well.
Yeah.
We pause at the well to
Well,
yeah, to
hello, it
come
went right over my head.
to come into community and to come into circle and to nourish our growth at the well. So it's such a perfect
Pause at
metaphor.
the well, but don't sit at the bottom.
But don't sit at the bottom.
I love it. I love that. Oh my gosh. How did I not catch that?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So, okay, our next card is the Spirit Keeper of the South. Now, if you
Mm-hmm.
remember, we had another deck a couple weeks ago that talked about the Spirit of the South, and
Mm-hmm.
that is the southern hem. It's representing summer, the sort of the noon sun, and rapid growth because everything is bright and sunny. In that other deck, it was represented by fire, right? And in here, you kind of have a fire sky,
Mm-hmm.
creating, and that's what we're here to do. So the first step is to plant and let go, and actually let rot away those things that aren't serving us. And now it's time to literally arise from that and
Mm-hmm.
begin to create new. I also pulled from that medicine bag. And this is asking you to gather your resources, all those things that you've collected over time, those knowings, those beliefs, those experiences that have taught you and helped you to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Those are part of your medicine bag. And if you can
Absolutely.
make sure you're in touch with those as um as you embark on whatever this is that you're arising from, um you know holding those and knowing that they will serve you, but also not getting in your way of it. Like, kind of, the guidance here is also to sort of step back and watch it all grow,
Mm-hmm.
and then be discerning. If I need to step in and change direction and help something change course, that's where I step in. But be discerning about those moments. Mostly, if you let your old stuff become fertilizer and create growth from that, the universe will propel you. It will take you in the direction you need. It will show you the signs and give you the little compass in how to proceed. So that's a beautiful, beautiful start. From there, I also pulled turning in, and this is getting deeper in touch with your emotions mostly, because this is a water card. Really, if you see her, she's haunted in her mind and in her history and imagination by much darkness and shadow and worry, but she still has that ability to rest in this very moment and be in touch with the core of who she is and those feelings and those deeper energies that make up who she is. So finding a way to rest in the middle of that crazy chaos is one way. And it's another way to sort of gather your medicine bag, right? Kind of the same vibration there. Then another water energy. And of course, we got letting go. And this is that, letting it drop away and it's just like the first card, don't sit at the bottom of the well, let it go. So your weight is lighter and you can arise from that. Then I pulled innocence. And remember, this is that wise old sage who can take joy in the smallest things, like looking at that grasshopper as if he's never seen one before, as if it's like, oh, wow, what a creature. Look at his legs. Look at the way he looks at me. And there is an innocence to that, right? Fresh perspective that you're creating by shedding this old stuff. You're creating your fresh perspective and how to proceed forward. And to continue with the planting analogies, I got flowering. So now those things you fertilized and put away, and as you set your sights on greater and more and a more ease-filled path, it starts to take shape. It starts to blossom. And then the final card in this spread is the blue moon. Believe in the impossible. And this is, the blue moon is it's a rarity, but you can still believe in it, right? It's still going to come. It still comes once every blue moon or something like that is that saying. And that
once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon. It correlates with the patterns of the moon between equinox and solstice. There are usually 3 full moons, and once in a while there are 4, and that's the blue moon. So it's a rarity, but it's not an impossibility. So that's the first set there.
Yeah. So being with this, reading, tuning in, breathing, and activating those cells that are designed to support our growth, our evolution. And just feel yourself circling, coming into the well space, being at the well, being nourished by what's in the well, the water in the well. And just feel in deeper, tuning in as you're going through whatever transition you're going through now, whatever letting go process you're going through now, whatever regenerative process you're going through now. Feel into your medicine bag, tuning into what's in your medicine bag. What elixir, what treatment, quote unquote, what resilience, what skill. And just take a moment to apply that which is in your medicine bag to whatever way you might be challenged right now with a transition you're going through, or whatever that may be, whatever impossibility that you're struggling to believe in. How might you apply that to your challenge? And just anchoring with your breath and grounding as we open up to the second half of the reading.
Okay, so now we get to address this, we're in this transition, right? Or maybe we're creating a transition by purposely, setting a goal or wanting to evolve in a certain way. But first we have to plant those things into our soil. And the first card I pulled in this spread is death. So
Which
this
was the
is,
first card last week's reading was death.
oh, it was. Oh,
Yeah, from death to rebirth was last week's
oh
reading.
yeah.
So
See that
continuing to evolve through our themes.
again, I get to rely on Maria's because I love the way you can thread these all together. I don't always remember, and it's beautiful that we have a continuing theme. And on this
Weaving.
death card, it says, I am learning that endings are merely beginnings.
Mm,
That's it. Once you place your old energies and your old the things that aren't serving you, you place them in that soil, let them rot away, like the guidance said in the first spread, and let it fertilize and let it be it becomes part of your medicine bag, right? It becomes part of your knowing how to proceed forward in as you evolve.
yeah.
And then I pulled from that. Now we get to move a little more actively toward that with that arise energy more. And I pulled purpose. I know what I am here to do. Beautiful, because now you get to reflect on, okay, what is my direction? Right after that card, though, I pulled mind. And this is right. This is maybe some residual. Maybe we want to think our way through to that next thing. But remember, the guidance was let it, let that growth kind of happen. Step back and let it grow, because it will. So remembering to clear some of the clutter in our mind. And remember, in that last card, we did pull the turning in. So that's another practice that we can do. This is, there's a lot going on there. It's
Yeah,
very
I mean,
busy.
there's a lot of pain in that card too. It's
Yeah,
busy,
there's
it's
there's
noisy,
fire.
there's
Yeah.
fire.
And like logjam energy, like kind of stuck
Mm-hmm.
and cluttered. And yeah,
Mm,
the mouth seems to be,
mm-hmm.
you know, um,
Like,
kind of curled
yeah.
in a painful or frustrated thing, shape. Yeah. So that's just a reminder that yeah, our minds may be filled with all this clutter and all this what ifs and but that's not where you're going to find your momentum. Your momentum is going to be from a deeper level in the energy that you put toward it. So just reminding yourself to kind of quiet the mind when you can. And then right after that, I got the sacred flow of yes. So yes, now, and look how, that's more another orange kind of vibration, kind of like that spirit keeper of the South. So it's like, now what am I moving toward? I know that I had these things tethering me in place, and I know that they're not working anymore, and I've got to let them fall away. But then what? Right now, I've created space for my growth. Now what? When the universe shows you signs, or sometimes if you determine, where you want to head next, go, right? Head toward it. I pulled freedom from that right after that. So I don't know if it was the producer, Shonda Rhimes, wrote a book, Her Year of Yes, where she stopped saying, no, I don't want to do that project. No, I don't want. And she started saying yes to everything. And that was a big year in her growth, personally, and also her professional growth. That yes creates a flow. And then from that, you experience that freedom of moving about and, in your own unique way. That card says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. And so there's movement there with the yes and the forward flow. Then we're on our way, right? We're moving along here. I got show the world the real you. You're the only one that can create or present or connect with others in your very unique way. You're the only one. So don't worry about feeling like a cookie cutter of others or whatever. Just be authentic, show up as you, and that's where your magic sauce is, right?
Right, your secret sauce.
Secret sauce. And then stay in the moment, moment to moment. This is a card we know very well as
Our
this
frequent
figure.
flyer card.
That's one of our, yeah. As he walks along the river, he knows that he will be supported and will take that next step to find the next boulder to prevent him from falling in the river. He
And to
knows it will
trust.
come when the time is right. He doesn't have to think ahead too far or cling to what is to hold him back from being able to move forward. So stay in this very moment, every moment. Then you begin to have clarity. Then the veil lifts and the awareness comes. Oh, yeah, I had all these things that were holding me back. I put them to rest. And now look at all this possibility in front of me, right? It's really a matter of actively moving your energies into more growth and more forward motion. Consciousness is there. Your higher self is now activated and guiding you and carrying you through. You know, the third eye there is lit up. There is an intuitive addition to this, to all this work we're doing. And you know, you could have two people with the same experiences, you know, planting their fertilizer or whatever, and then the next direction will be completely different because they're guided by their own energies and their own intuition. And then the final card is what we're all seeking, transformation. Now the shifts come, the change comes, and be sure to recognize and celebrate the smallest of shifts. They are taking you in that right direction. They are keeping you from the bottom of the well. The smallest little shift, right?
Yeah.
And piled one upon another, those small shifts become true, complete transformation.
Yeah,
And I want to
absolutely.
remind again, we say this a lot, but all of this guidance can be for something concrete in your life, like a relationship that you want to transform or a project that you want to see come through to fruition. But many times as well, this is an internal job. And this is just making those energetic shifts within you, clearing space to grow, clearing space to grow, and continuing that as you evolve your higher self.
Yeah, yeah. It's that tuning in and really transforming from within. Yeah. Um, yeah, again, the themes that we move through week to week are just they're so profound, and I remind periodically people in group, and I'll say it here too, that Angela's not pulling cards in advance. We're not consciously creating these themes. Every week it's a spontaneous fresh reading, and so the way that the cards come through are what are just what comes through, and it's amazing. So like last week we went from rebirth to from death to rebirth, right? We were talking about the spiral dynamics of transformational work and growth. We were talking about that a lot, and there were lots of spirals in the cards. And then we're here again, starting with the arise and the attention to the cells and how they're in service of our growth and healing. And then the death card came through in the second part with again the freedom card. And the death card had that beautiful mandala on it, and then the freedom card had that beautiful mandala on it, right?
Yeah.
There's just all these themes of regeneration, soul regeneration, growth, and just how much of this work is an inside job. Our work is just how much of this. And so, I just want to invite everyone to take a moment and come into awareness of your highest consciousness. So I'm that which is aware of my highest self. I'm that which is aware of being consciousness. I'm that which is aware of being consciousness. And let yourself merge with that high vibrational level of being. From that level of being, I'm that which is aware of being consciousness. Just allow yourself to finish the sentence. My purpose for being here is, I know that I'm here to do or to be. Just let the words come, don't filter them. I encourage you to write down what comes. And just anchor it. I got it. And then try on saying yes to that sacred yes that came through. Try saying yes. I got it. I got it. I get it. And just see what that feels like to be with. And then take a moment to create your intention for this week. Living intentionally really matters. Feel whatever that intention is that's coming through, listen for it, create it, and then offer it up for divine support. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful week.